everyone, JSD Cool here, and welcome to another episode of Coolcraft Season 6. This time I did it. This time I was actually able to properly pop the totem from jumping off this building. In the last episode, I built a gold farm to help with the XP situation because I was extremely tired of trading with villagers, and I also built this bamboo farm here in which the minecarts decide to, like all possible moments in time, decide that they will not work properly for no discernible reason. But besides that, the minecarts have been working well enough to collect this thing while it's been running. And so, along with that, I have been able to acquire a fairly large quantity of bamboo. Well, I was actually not sure how much I have. That's a lot. As you can see, minecarts, they do minecart things, and there are some suspicious gaps where some minecarts have disappeared. Today, in this episode, I am planning on building an ocean monument farm. Because when I was building, oh, it's out of range. When I was building the International Trade Tower, or designing it rather, I designed in a lot of sea lanterns as lighting, and then I built it without having yet built an ocean monument farm. So I'm going to do that now so I can get sea lanterns to light it up correctly. Now, of course, the first step in any ocean monument farm is ridding the farm, which you can see the outline of something there, of the dastardly Elder Guardians. And so, as we approach the monument now, we will do just that. It is... there it is. Alright, so first things first, we need to chug a couple potions so that we can survive underwater and not get guardianed. Take off all the armor, I think the elite was fine, and get ready to place the TNT and go a bit nuts. Look at me, don't... Oh, and if you're unaware of what I'm doing here, this is the best way, categorically, the best way to get into an ocean monument. Because, you know, TNT normally doesn't actually do any damage to blocks underwater, and these guys will give you mining fatigue, although I suppose I could have actually mined into the thing there, as it did take me, like, it did take, like, 7 years for that to happen. By far and away, the absolute best way to bust into an ocean... Where's the front of this thing? It's kind of important information. This side, okay. So, yeah, TNT doesn't normally actually explode underwater. You know, not breaking blocks. But if you surround the TNT on all sides with blocks, using the redstone block on top to ignite it, then it will actually be able to blow up and destroy blocks, like it does there. Oop, okay. Additionally, we use slime blocks in particular because you don't... slime blocks can be destroyed instantly, meaning that mining fatigue doesn't affect your ability to remove them. So if we misplace or need to remove them for any reason, it's not a big deal. We do kind of still have to get away from the TNT though, as it is still, you know, an explosion that can cause damage. Alright, where is this final guy? There he is. Hey, put your arms away. There we go. I'm gonna get you. Dirty Dan here, I'm gonna get you. Alright, now, with all of the Elder Guardians taken out, we should no longer be receiving a brand new mining fatigue here. We still have 5 minutes left on invisibility and water breathing, 3 minutes left on that. So, we are now going to go and locate the sponge room, because sponges are also really nice to have before we go... or for actually draining this ocean monument later in this episode. Alright, I managed to escape out of there with 35 wet sponges. Not too bad. Now that the ocean monument has been drained of its riches, well, I guess there's still gold down there, but as I covered at the beginning, we have a gold farm. It doesn't really matter. 8 blocks of gold isn't very much. Yeah, it's time to get building the contraption that will eventually remove all the water from around it. Which is actually what that schematic you saw earlier as we were flying over here is. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. And before I forget, this was probably designed by El Mango many, many years ago, but I think it still works. So we should be fine. But anyhow, yeah, let's get building that. Also, replay mod doesn't exist, so I'm not actually doing a time-lapse of this. Alright, the thing that will fill in the whole thing with sand, I don't know what to call it, is built. And I've also built what is hopefully enough storage. I have no idea if I've got enough sand to fill this, or if this is even enough. It probably is, though. Those pistons there should realistically be extended, but that's a bit of a process that I can't be bothered to. Oh wait, no, those do need to be extended. Fuck. Anyhow, yeah, besides me doing that, I'll just quickly do that off camera. The next step is to actually remove all the kelp from the top, kelp and seagrass from the top of the ocean monument. That will screw with the sand. The grass and kelp has been removed from the surface of the ocean monument. Again, this is necessary so that the sand will actually fall and stay put and not just pop into an item. Kind of important. Now I gotta actually get the sand and start filling this thing. I filled some of these chests up with sand, so I will now start placing in sand in this machine and let it run. Again, replay mod doesn't exist currently for 1.20.2, so I am going to not do a time lapse and just see how well this goes. Alright, after refilling the sand once and AFKing overnight, it is mostly completed and filled with sand. As you can see, this corner here has a little bit that wasn't filled in, and especially once you get to the end, most of the sand is just being wasted, thrown overboard anyway, so that makes sense. This side has a much longer distance to go. So yeah, I will now fill that in manually. It's not really worth using the machine, as it's going to be much slower than just filling in these last few blocks manually. I also have to get a ton more sand from the end anyway, so yeah. Next up is to start removing the sand and also the monument. The monument is gone. So, not only is it drained, the sand's removed, but yeah, there's just no more monument here straight up. And that's because, well, you know, it was Thanksgiving, and I just, instead of doing any recording, I did bring my microphone with me just in case. I just decided, you know what, I'm going to just grind this thing out, and yeah, the monument has now been removed. And I've also cut out a square here for where we're going to continue to dig down for this farm. Because I've decided, because of the unique terrain generation that has happened around this, where this has cut into the terrain, as you can see here, I've decided I'm going to build the design I made in Season 3, which occupies this footprint here. And mind you, that was designed for a whole perimeter. We don't got exactly that, but we'll just have to drop them down far enough here, probably to about the deep slate layer, to the point where they'll just die. And so that'll probably be the best farm design we can make for this situation, because there's basically no ocean beneath us. So yeah, I'm gonna get digging a big hole here. The hole has been holificated all the way down to, well, basically y equals 0. Which means that the 1.18 world expansion has really come in handy here to actually make this much less painful to make, because there would be bedrock right where I'm standing right now instead of this pad of hoppers that I put in here. But yeah, this is just straight up the killing and collection system. Although, there should be enough guardians spawning from this, assuming all the spawn proofing in the area is good enough. That I will need to just drop everything out into an item stream and then pick that up into stuff, but we can get to that later. We have enough space underground to do that. For now, what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to actually work on building the farm itself, which is going to go right here, obviously, inside the boundaries of the monument. And hey, let's actually do a time-lapse of it. Replay mod still is not out for 1.20.2 yet, somehow, despite the fact that it's been like a month or two now since it's released. But anyhow, farm construction is finished. As well, this is the same design as we built in Season 3. I know it should be quite efficient. Also, there is, by the way, string floating around the edge here, if you did wonder. I did that after the time lapse, since you really can't see it all that well. Anyhow, this farm is nice because you can actually just directly toggle the entire thing on and off with a button press. But yes, in case you don't know, let's go over how this works. So first of all, there are dispensers with water buckets in it, which will drop water down here. The guardians will be able to spawn in these areas of water here, and then because the water will be flowing, they will then start slowly sink down and eventually drop out the bottom here into this pit, which is, well, deep enough that they will always die from the fall. At the bottom of each of these chutes, of course, there are signs to prevent the water from leaking all the way down, as that wouldn't be very useful of a farm. So anyhow, let's turn this farm on and just see that it does in fact work, and that I have not wasted a fair amount of time here. Of course, we will have to back up a bit because of that 24 block despawn radius. Okay, I hope stuff is spawning at the end. Oh, there it is! Yay, stuff is spawning. Not, of course, close, because I'm too close, but... And then we need to actually put in the storage system down below. So I'm gonna get doing that. Storage has been completed, and I'm, like, right above a cave here, so I'm gonna move away before the spiders start to annoy me. But yes, we have 2 banks of 4x6 double chests for the storage here, and then the way you get in here is kind of terrible, to be fair. But yeah, here's the item sorters. We have sorting out prismarine over here, or prismarine crystals here and prismarine shards there. Of course, this is right next to the water stream that comes in from the output of the actual dropship here. And I do need to activate these droppers, which means I have to have another way to get in here, which I have no idea what that's going to be yet, so I will figure that out. Next up is actually building the AFK platform, so let's get doing that. Alright, I've constructed the AFK box here in the sky. I didn't bother putting a ladder, you'll just have to fly here. I mean, that's not a big deal. So, anyhow, I AFK'd here while I went to dinner, and I was gone for less than an hour. And, well, oh, okay, that's, okay, something's trying to attack me. Yeah, as you can see, this farm is still kind of active here. But anyhow, if we come down... Okay, that's a slight design flaw that I could just pick up items there. Oh, that should help me pick up less items. Yeah, okay. Anyhow, so anyhow, down here in the storage, I'll remind you, I was gone for less than an hour. That's a lot. A lot of stuff. Mind you, there's, wow, okay, 4. So basically, 4.5 double chests of shards and almost 2 double chests of crystals in less than an hour. That is pretty good rates. I did kind of forget how good this farm was. So for reference, this is actually how fast the farm goes generally. And yeah, I can kind of see how it actually got those rates with this many guardians falling this consistently. Like, it's actually kind of shocking how fast it is. And if you're wondering what it actually looks like in the farm, first of all, pack spawning is in, like, full force here. Some of them swim around a little bit, but most of them don't really fight it and just fall. But yeah. That's a lot of guardians. Now that I have acquired a sizable supply of sea lanterns, wow, that was a hard sentence to say. I can finally put in the proper lighting here inside the International Trade Tower that I've, well, realistically needed to have in here since I built this thing, but yeah. Was unfortunately unable until now. The permanent lighting has now been installed, and this place just looks immediately different, but also better. It no longer looks like this is a work site that is under construction. It actually kind of looks like an office now with the proper lighting. I have hopefully removed all the torches from the entire second floor here, and also up here, where this also looks better and more evenly and brightly lit. So, I mean, nothing's changed up top, but yeah. Next up in this video, I am actually going to come back downtown here and actually work on the villager enclosure here. As you can see, Jared Cole actually did a bit of work on it, building it up to this height, but we have a bit more to go before we're at the top, so yeah, I'm gonna get working on that because I have a bit of spare glass. It turns out that spare glass was not enough, not even close, not even 2 shulker boxes more glass actually did the trick. It took a lot of glass, more than I was expecting, to get this done. So there was a lot of smelting and waiting and all that sort of stuff, and realizing that one of the bone meal generators inside of the stone factory here had broke again, and fixing that for this to actually get done. And also, so long in fact that while I was doing that, I passed 100,000 minutes online. It's been an extra 1,000 minutes since then of me AFKing, I guess. Which is interesting. It means I'm also going to have to build a map art of my face in the future, but no one else is anywhere close to that, so I shouldn't have to do anything else for a while there. Basically, the design for the village here, I guess, done from what we planned. There is something that's going to go in the corner there. We'll build that later, maybe on a live stream, maybe not. I don't know. There was also, for some reason, a plan to build another iron farm above this, despite the fact there's an iron farm right there. I don't know what idiot decided to do that, but now these villagers are perfectly safe and sealed in here with iron golems that are actually kind of useless now because there's not zombies able to get in here or anything. I mean, this guy's still stuck in this hole. He can get out at any point. He just chooses not to. What a loser. But anyhow, guys, I'm going to have to say thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Check out my game, which is linked in the description. And I will see you all in the next episode of Coolcraft Season 6. Bye!